Hello, magnificent listeners. This is Scott with Perch Points Podcast, and I'm accompanied by my brother Rob.
Howdy.
Just want to let everybody know that's loving this podcast that if you also want something along the lines of sports, fun stories, different weird scenarios, fun drops, the whole deal,
Gambling.
gambling, yep,
Come on, don't forget gambling.
exactly,
Yeah.
and just fun
Oh,
drinking
crack another one.
stories. Come on, listen to Perch Points Podcast on Apple or Spotify and now Amazon.
Let's rally.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Magnificent. Today is a very special episode. The woman that I have on today is someone that I have mentioned a couple times on the show. She is the one that brought me into this world and has always threatened to take me out. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce my mom, Ronna Cisneros. Mom, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
You were a little bit nervous and a little bit of hesitant to get on the show because of the possible different questions I was going to ask you.
Just the unknown, I guess.
The unknown, fear of the unknown. I mean, nobody really knows what's in the future, but I would say definitely it's something that a lot of people fear. But are you ready to break the ice? Because I always break the ice with my guests.
Sure.
Okay. Before we go into the Q&A, it's time for the dad joke of the episode. Yep. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny so far. Okay. Why did the ventriloquist go live with his dad?
Am I supposed to guess?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because mama didn't raise no dummy. Broke the ass a little bit, right?
Sure.
There you go. So, first question is, of course, it's Mother's Day. So you've been kind of debating, like, where do we go? And I mentioned to you in a text message, I'm like, give me the type of food that you want to have, and I'll pick a place. Now, and then you're like, nope, I'll pick the restaurant. Now you're like, what restaurant do we go to?
No, I mean, it doesn't really matter to me, but I mean, I would like to ultimately choose, but I'm looking for options. Like, you guys can throw out options. Like, we went to Texas Roadhouse last year.
Right.
Longhorn is always good, but those are both steak places.
Yeah.
I was just trying to
steakhouses.
I was just trying to think outside the box, and like, is there another restaurant that we haven't gone to in a while? Or
yeah.
Everything's probably going to be busy, but
Oh yeah, always is.
if we go earlier in the day, maybe we can go in between the people that are going out for brunch and the people that go out for dinner.
That could be a possibility. Yeah.
But I don't know, I love pizza too, so I was thinking maybe Buddy's Pizza.
Yeah.
Because Buddy's Pizza is good.
Yeah. I mean, they got really good deep dish Detroit pizza. So
yeah, my favorite is the Sicilian.
What was on the Sicilian?
I think it has salami. I know it's got a special sauce. We usually take the green peppers off and add banana peppers instead. I can't
don't know
remember.
why
I
you
can't
would do
remember.
that.
It's just good. I like banana peppers.
Yeah, but the green peppers would be much better.
Not in my opinion.
No. Okay, well,
I just
and then
love
JT
pizza.
and then JT threw out the thought of going to what was it, Red Lobster,
Yes,
which
just
I had
because
mentioned seafood to you, but
you did.
yeah, I was like, you want to go to a seafood place or
Oh, I remember you said like Italian or Mexican, or was seafood one of
seafood,
those?
American traditional cuisine, so like burgers or something like that. Like I was giving you options.
So give me
but
specific options, I guess, like specific, like I not Mexican.
you don't
Be-
want to do Mexican on
Well, we
Mother's
just
Day?
did that for Cinco de Mayo.
All right, that's fair.
So
Let's see. I mean, we could always let's see. There were a couple ones that I passed by that looked pretty good, and it was along the Hull Road, right by Lakeside Mall kind of area.
the only one I can think of is BJ's Brew House. What other ones are over there?
Well, I mean, there's a couple of them that I really haven't. I forget the names of them, but they look pretty good.
Have you been to BJ's Brew House?
Oh yeah, a couple times actually.
I've been there, I think, twice.
Yeah, their bison. What was it? Their bison burger was really good. It had a lot of flavor to it, and
I guess, like I've been trying to eat healthy lately.
yeah,
Trying to shed a few pounds before we go on our cool Gatlinburg family vacation.
yeah.
But on Mother's Day, I was gonna obviously
Got to
splurge
indulge.
and
Yeah.
let myself have whatever that day, and then just get back on it on Monday.
Right.
So I don't know. I do love pizza. And up until last night, I hadn't had pizza in 3 weeks. But
So you're like what, craving pizza now ever since last night?
well, it was really good.
So for those,
And it just reminded me how much I love pizza.
So for those who don't know, we celebrated a family member's
College
graduation, and it was at this bar called Hammond Pub, and they had chicken. What was it? Chicken tenders.
Yeah,
right?
those were good too. Did you have any of those?
Oh yeah, I had like 4 or 5.
Those were really good.
Yeah, you got to remember, like I didn't eat that day,
I know. I saw your plate.
and my plate was like a Scooby Doo.
It was
kind of plate.
slightly mounded.
A little bit. But yeah. So we were there, and they had like what 4 or 5 different types of pizza.
Yes. Did you have any of the barbecue chicken pizza?
No, that came out later after I was full.
Oh, it was so good.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Because I like barbecue pizza.
I know. See? Doesn't pizza sound good? I think that got me started because I love it so much, and I let myself have 2 pieces last night, and it was good.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna splurge again for Mother's Day, however,
I mean, do you want to? Well,
Texas
okay.
Roadhouse is always really good too. They have really good food.
Yeah. Or Outback Steakhouse, you could do.
Oh, we haven't been there in a long time.
You want to go to the go see the Dango? you want to go to the Outback?
Good. I used to get the Alice Springs chicken. It was like smothered in cheese and mushrooms and bacon and
you know the Outback Steakhouse was not made in Australia.
yeah, probably yeah.
Yeah,
It's just an Americanized.
Very Americanized.
However, I also remember every time I leave that place, I have a bellyache for some reason.
So let's not go to Outback Steakhouse.
But I think it used to be the Bloomin' Onion when I would eat too much of that,
Maybe.
probably because it was so much grease.
That could be it. Oh, there's this one spot that I passed by, which may be a thought. Buca
Buca de Beppo?
Buca
That's
Italian.
an Italian place.
Yeah, I've never been there, and I saw Italian.
We went one time, bless you. We went one time after bowling one time years ago.
Yeah.
And it was, from what I remember, it was expensive.
Oh, really?
And
It's because from the outside it looks like like a rundown.
Well, it's
place.
like courses, if I remember right. It was a long time ago, but
Huh.
it was. I do remember it being expensive though. So
Okay. Yeah. I don't know.
and probably very bad for like
health wise.
just health wise, yeah, pasta and everything. But I'm sure any of those things that we've mentioned so far that's okay. I'm gonna splurge
Yeah.
one day.
Yeah.
Although I'm already having guilt after having cake last night.
I'm so happy I didn't have cake last night.
Yeah, I wish I would have stopped at the pizza.
I'm so glad that I didn't have cake last night because that was just not like after I had like technically 3 courses, like a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner all in one. So that did me good for a while.
You were smart to stop.
Yeah. Well, I ended up eating it all, so.
Right. But I did have salad and,
Yeah.
and only 2 thin sliced pizzas.
Yeah.
So.
Oh.
But yeah.
So are you excited for Mother's Day? This will be your 25th Mother's Day?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're 25.
Yeah. So this is your 25th Mother's Day.
Wow. It's kind of a special one if you think about it.
In a sense, yeah. In a sense. Yeah, since I'm the oldest of 3, so
25 just seems like a significant number.
It does. It does. You know, you get 25 years of being
of you.
Yeah. Yeah. 25 years of me. Must have been quite interesting.
It's been a journey.
Yeah. 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 Sure has. Well, so tell me about what it's like to be a boy mom. Like, since I said that, you know, I'm the oldest of 3 and I've had Zach on here, and so
well, it's funny because I always thought, you know, before I had kids, I always thought, because I'm a pretty girly girl, like makeup and nails and hair stuff and, you know, all of that. I just kind of always, you know, when you envision yourself having kids one day, I envisioned myself having one of each at least, you know, probably because that's what I grew up with in my family.
Right.
So I envisioned, you know, painting toenails on a little girl and doing her hair and all that. And then I had boys. And I figured out that even though I'm a girly girl, I love being a boy mom. Because I have the, I think, personality for it, because you guys were always fun and loud and funny and energetic. And to me, that just, it was fun. I never had a problem with my house being loud and full of craziness and you guys running all over and laughing. That made me happy to hear you guys playing happy.
Yeah.
But it was a learning curve too, because then I had to learn to be a boy mom. I had to learn to let you guys get dirty.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of pictures, like the one where we were in our bathing suits and we just took the hose and just played in the mud and made ourselves mud monsters.
Oh yeah. Well, what you guys did was, you know how when you have a swing set,
right,
under each swing, the grass wears out and you end up with a big dirt spot.
Right.
So you guys thought it would be great one day when you all were playing out in the backyard. You took the hose and you put water in all the dirt spots and made it into big mud piles.
Yep.
And then before I knew it, you guys were literally rolling in it.
Like pigs. Yeah.
You guys were covered in mud.
Yep.
And I just looked out and I just laughed. I'm like, well, might as well let them play now.
Yeah.
I just remember saying, all right, you guys have as much fun as you want. However, I will be hosing each one of you off before you come in the house.
Yep. Yeah.
But of course, I had to capture that moment. And yes, we do have a picture of you guys just literally covered in mud and just having the time of your life.
Yeah.
You guys were having so much fun. It was great. But then came boy type activities like Cub Scouts.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember the Cub Scouts.
So I had, I went to Cub Scout camp each year with you guys.
Yep.
And so I did the whole shooting BB guns thing and archery and tent camping.
Which I don't mind till this day. So I think thanks Cub Scouts for letting me tent camp, because now I don't mind tent camping.
Well, I tell everybody now I am more of a glamper type of person. I
Yeah.
would much prefer to have a nice little air conditioned cabin. I still like sitting out at a campfire, which is why I always love going to Ludington, because the cabins we rented
Had bonfires.
you still feel like you're camping because we're in an RV park and you can go out and have a bonfire and that kind of thing. However, it is glamping because you go in to an air conditioned cabin and you get to sleep on a real bed and have your own bathroom. So to me, I don't do tent camping, but I tell everybody,
I just call that vacationing, not
well,
glamping.
if I were going on a true vacation, I'd rent a house or a nice hotel room.
Right.
But, that way you can still do, roast marshmallows and do s'mores and sit out in your, folding chairs and stuff like that. But anyway, even though now I prefer glamping, I tell everybody, however, it hasn't always been that way. I paid my dues. I set up tents all by myself. Well, not all by myself. I had to have help because I didn't know how to set up a tent when I first started taking you guys camping. But yeah, I've slept in a tent multiple times, set up the tent, did all that BB gun archery stuff.
Yeah. And then with that, we played baseball, wrestled, and football. And
Oh, yeah. I went to all of those things with you guys, took you to all the football practices and baseball practices and all the games and yeah.
Yeah.
And theater. Went to all your theater stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
We were
yeah,
just always involved in something.
which that I loved. I loved.
We weren't like some kids and just did nothing.
No. But I wanted each of you to do whatever interested you guys,
Yeah.
just because you played football. I always told your brothers, you can play football if you want, but if you want to play basketball or do something else, that's fine too.
Right.
But yeah, I just always wanted you guys to be involved in stuff. I think you meet people, you make connections, and it's just fun to get involved. I guess maybe I was always outgoing and did stuff like that in school.
Right.
But I think it's good to be active and get involved in stuff without being too heavily involved so that you could still have a balanced.
Social life.
No, I was thinking more like schoolwork
Oh. Well,
at
there's
that
too.
time.
Yeah.
Well, if you think of it, your activities kind of were your social life.
Yeah.
'Cause
That's true.
Your friends, you made friends. The friends that you hung out with at the time were the people that you were playing whatever sport you were playing
Yeah,
at the time.
that is true. That is true. In which I still, from time to time, still talk to those guys today. So
That's neat.
yeah,
All the way from, starting at the local city type leagues and, Sterling Heights or Clinton Township, from the flag football stuff you guys used to do
yeah,
to the T-ball, starting at T-ball and going all the way up,
yeah. Was it as entertaining then as it is like I see different videos of kids playing t-ball, and it's absolutely hysterical. And I'm like, was it that funny back then?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yep, because you have some kids who aren't paying attention, picking dandelions out in the
field,
on the outfield,
Yeah.
and some who run the wrong way.
yeah, yeah.
That's all a real thing that could happen. It's funny though. But no, I learned really quickly to be a boy mom and have just really thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. So pretty much you're waiting for a granddaughter now.
That would be great. But a grandson would be great too.
Yeah.
I
You're
kn-
like, well,
I
done
know-
this before.
I know boys. Yeah, I know.
You're like,
I know how little boys are. But
but for
it would be fun to experience a little girl someday. Yeah.
Mhm. Well, I was joking with JT's girlfriend Casey, and she's like, oh, because she had found out that I had gone on a date or something like that, and she goes, how did that date go? I go, yeah, we're not gonna see each other anymore. And she's like, oh. I was like, yeah. So I'm at the point now where it's like, if my mom wants grandkids, you guys are up. You guys are gonna be the ones that give my mom the grandkids, because as of right now, there ain't no way in hell I'm doing that.
I thought you meant you weren't gonna see whoever that was anymore because she wasn't mom quality. Like,
No, she had the mom and the wife quality. She just wasn't ready. So
all right.
I'm like, all right. So I was like, well, that's up to you guys now. So
Hey, you
That's
can't
in your
rush
court.
those things anyway.
yeah, some people do.
When it happens, it happens. If you try and rush it, then you might look back someday and go, wish I would have just let it run its natural course.
That, or yeah, something like that. So 25 years of being a mom. So what was it like being a mom for the first time?
Exciting, scary at the same time.
Right.
But I felt prepared, or as prepared as you can be.
Right.
It was just all new, just really exciting. I just
Okay.
always wanted to be a mom, so
yeah.
becoming a mom at the time was just the best thing that had ever happened to me.
Right.
I just think I can't imagine not being a mom. It can be the most challenging, frustrating thing in the world, but also the absolute most rewarding thing in the world, and the thing that gives me most joy.
Right. Yeah, I mean, most moms do say that, to where like they definitely have they definitely want to have kids, and and they just absolutely love it and everything like that. So
I did. I was very fortunate that I got to be a stay-at-home mom.
yeah.
I didn't know until I had you that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. Until I had you, I was on my career path. I went to college. I got my first job. I got promotion after promotion until I was a branch manager
Yeah.
at a bank. And was climbing the ladder, you know, happy to do my career thing. Never did I ever think that I wouldn't work. I just assumed I would. And then I had you, and it's weird because your whole life perspective changes. At least mine did. You know,
Yeah.
in a very short period of time, I was like, I just felt so responsible for you and felt like nobody was going to take better care of you than I could, because I did go back to work part-time for a year
Right.
after you were born. And I just felt so guilty every time I dropped you off, and just felt like I was supposed to be there with you, taking care of you.
Yeah.
And therefore, I ended up, even though I had worked so hard to get to where I was at in my career at that point,
Yeah.
I felt like my place was at home with you. So
okay.
I wrote my resignation letter, and as I walked into my boss's office, I cried when I handed in my resignation letter, because I was basically giving up everything I had worked so hard for, you know, my whole college career and my whole, I think I had been there maybe eight years
Yeah.
after college, and maybe 9. But anyways, I had worked hard to get to where I was at. So it was kind of,
Way to go, me.
it was,
I made mom quit her job.
no, that was 100% my decision. And I have never, ever regretted that decision. It was the best thing, even though I knew, and because the minute I walked out of his office, it was like, I felt like a relief, and like, just, I was so happy because I knew that I was going to be able to just be a mom.
Right.
So basically, being a mom has been my career for almost 25 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done odd jobs here and there and little part-time things, but my main job was the job that I wanted, which was being a mom.
Okay.
But I loved being able to, that afforded me the ability to like go on all of the field trips. Yes.
Yeah.
And to help out in the classroom, to help during all of the holiday parties, and
Yeah.
all of those moments I would not trade for anything. Not for the biggest house in the world, the best cars, a boat, nothing. I would not change anything, because you can't ever get that time back.
Right.
Time spent with your kids. So I loved that time, being able to go and be at the school, and if you guys needed something or forgot something, just be able to run it up to the school.
I would say that happened probably most of the time.
Yeah, Mom, forgot my lunch.
Yeah.
Forgot something.
Yeah.
But I just really loved to be able to come up there and help out at the school, and be there for field days and walkathons.
Yeah.
And take you to the book fairs, and
yeah,
so many things.
Most people definitely, when they think of like the book fairs and stuff like that, it's like they have a little bit of money and then just could spend it on whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I always gave you guys a certain amount of money and let you pick out what you wanted.
Right.
But yeah, so I just, yeah, being a mom definitely makes me smile. Just the memories of being able to do all of those things with you guys.
If you can't hear that in the background, my stepdad Ralph just came home and he's playing with
a big bag of ice.
Big bag of ice and gently closing the fridge. Oh man.
But anyways, yeah. As you can tell probably from the look on my face, I just like being a mom.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding on that one.
I just loved that period of time. I mean, every period of time was good. Every stage is different.
Yeah.
Has its challenges and its pros and cons.
Right. And so we're going to get right into that, but first we're going to take our first quick break.
Okay.
So we were talking about the different stages, and you had you know you've had all memories of us at different stages of life. What are your most favorite for each individual kid? I mean, there's three, so think about.
That's almost impossible to answer.
Is it? Is it though?
Absolutely, because like I said, there are pros and cons to every stage that kids go through. You starting from when you guys were itty bitty babies.
Yeah.
There are things that I have absolutely loved about every single stage, from babyhood, from babies to toddlers
Mm-hmm.
to when you're old enough to start school, elementary school stage, middle school stage, sports that you start entering into, different levels of those sports, all the way up through high school. It's impossible to pick.
Okay. Well, in that case, was there a certain stage where, let's see, that you could come up with a memory about all three of us?
Lots.
Any one that sticks out in your mind?
Well, of course, bringing you home from the hospital for the first time, because you were my firstborn.
Right.
So, everything with you was a first,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Which I like to say I was the guinea pig.
yeah, but I feel like we did a pretty good job.
Now you're just blowing smoke up my ass on my podcast. Look at you.
No. I mean, you were a happy kid. I got lucky. None of you guys had colic or were over. All of you guys were just happy babies. I just got lucky. You guys none of you cried unless there was a reason. And then you had to go through the mental checklist. Are they hungry? Do they have a wet diaper?
Yeah.
Are they hot? Whatever. You go through the mental checklist, but once you figured that out, then you guys were happy again. So
yeah,
you were always just happy and fun. A memory with you is you had so much hair.
Yeah.
You literally had hair past your ears down to your nose before you were 6 months old. Like most babies are bald.
Yeah.
Zach it took him a long time to grow his hair in. But you were born with a head of hair, and they kept telling me, "Oh, don't be alarmed. Most babies who are born with a lot of hair, they lose it. It like falls out and then it regrows." Well, you never lost any hair. It just kept growing. So everywhere I went with you, everybody thought you were a little girl because you were a pretty baby. But it was the long hair, and everybody thought you were older than you were.
Yeah.
Here you were, couldn't even walk, and you had like a full head of hair. It was just so bizarre looking on a little baby. So I went and got your hair cut when you were 6 months old, and you had the most adorable little boy haircut.
Well,
but it made you look so much older than you
Yeah.
really were. You probably looked like you were 1 or 2, and you were only 6 months old. But so that's a memory, was how long your hair was. One of you guys, when you were little, I'm thinking it might have been Zach or JT, left him alone too long and came in the room, and there was baby powder everywhere. It was in the room, like you could barely see. It was in the room, and the whole carpet was so full of baby powder. The carpet was white.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
I'm not sure which one of you that was, but that was hilarious. I took a picture, of course, before I started cleaning up, but I know I took a picture. Not sure where that picture is. But there was a picture because I remember seeing footprints where I had walked in to take the baby powder away and then backed out to go get the camera.
Isn't that something to where, like, if something happens, it's like you're upset during the time and you're like, hold please, this needs to be a camera moment.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, there's so many memories of you guys throughout the years. First days of school through the years, field trips like we were talking about before.
So let me ask you this. So I've talked to so many people about it, and I've shown different like school pictures to, different people, and I figured now is the best time as any. What was your mindset behind the mullet? Or not the mullet, the bowl cut?
Oh, that was at the time called the mushroom cut.
Yeah, the mushroom cut. Why would you do that?
Because you guys were adorable. Here's the reason why. Number one,
All
that
mothers
was
think we're adorable.
number one. That was in style at the time.
Yeah, in the 90s.
Yeah, but
It would have been just fine for me, but once coming on.
also because I thought you guys looked so cute with hair, and I didn't want to do the buzz cut thing because you guys were toddlers.
I'm not saying buzz cut.
I just thought you guys looked cute with hair.
Oh boy.
Because I liked it.
Yeah, well, you and I had to have a couple of negotiations with my hair.
Yeah, I mean, at one point, as you got older, you
It
wanted
was the fourth grade.
You wanted the sticky up bangs that everybody was doing.
Well, okay, so yes and no. So what was it? Yeah, third grade I was the final year, and then fourth grade is when I did like the 90s like part down the middle.
Yeah.
And that lasted for a hot minute, and then in fifth grade and onward it just became like spiky or short or whatever.
Yeah. Eventually you wanted to have the haircut like all the other boys that got it shaved up the back and stuff.
Not even like shaved. You could easily use like trimmers, but like just not the bowl cut. The bowl cut was not in style in like the mid 2000s.
I know. I eventually had to give that up. It's hard for a mom to let go and let you guys grow up a little bit.
Wow. I would have thought, okay, yeah, it would have been just fine for me in like the 90s, but like once 2000 hit, it was like totally new. Like you can even look back at like the different celebrities that had different hairstyles. Where do you see bowl cut in that mixture?
Well, you guys were also small. You were young.
Okay.
Celebrities are adults. No adults are going to have that.
Not quite. Child stars.
Still. I gave in eventually, and you got your shorter haircuts, and it's funny because then, like at one point, like when Zach got into middle school, I want to say, even maybe older elementary, he was doing the swoop thing. He wanted it a little longer and was doing the swoop.
But the only reason why that was happening was because Justin Bieber had that haircut.
Yes. But see, that was longer hair.
Ish, yeah. But it was not a bowl cut.
On top.
It was not a bowl cut.
No. It was called the mushroom.
Bowl cut. It was called the bowl cut.
Hey, Paula, the really nice haircut stylist that did your guys' hair from when you were little itty bitty, even she thought it was absolutely adorable on you guys.
That or she was trying to get a better tip.
No. No.
So so okay, so that was one thing with all of us, but you kind of actually answered the individual question where I was like, individually, like what sort of stages do you are your like favorite, and you kind of were mentioning
Well,
those in the beginning.
there's hard parts about every stage too. I mean, obviously in the beginning when you guys are babies, like the whole lack of sleep thing, you know, the younger the kids are, the more time it takes, the less time parents have to themselves, and um it's a huge commitment when you decide to have kids. But again, that's all I ever dreamed of, was being a mom.
So
And
do you? So as we're talking about this, I just had a thought to where do you think that our childhood was like the classic like all American kind of childhood to where it was we weren't inside very much, and then if we were, you would tell us to go outside, and we would go outside until like the street lights would come on. We would play out in the front yard, and not and the parents wouldn't have to worry that much like they do now, and different things like that.
well, your childhood was different than my childhood. My childhood, we would literally ride off on our bikes in the neighborhood somewhere, and our parents didn't see us until we came home after dark.
Right.
When you guys were growing up, there were boundaries. You weren't allowed to go past a certain spot on the sidewalk,
That's right. Yeah.
in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I'm sure your childhood is different than the kids that are growing up right now because of so much more technology now.
Yeah.
When I grew up, there was no such thing as cell phones. My first cell phone I got was when I was pregnant with you,
Yeah.
because I was driving an hour to work each way, and we figured it would be safer for me to have a way to call for help if I needed it.
Right.
But when you guys were growing up, kids didn't have cell phones until
I was in junior high.
you guys were like in junior high.
Yeah.
And the only reason I got you guys cell phones then was because you were staying after school for different sporting events and stuff. And it was easier for you to be able to call me and let me know when practice was over or when whatever was over.
Right.
But even things like iPads and stuff weren't around like when you were a kid. They were like new. I remember having one maybe when JT was little. I got my first iPad. I remember because I remember being at one of your wrestling matches, and because we used to bring poor JT everywhere because you guys, there's a 5-year difference. So we would be at your sporting events, and I would bring the iPad to give JT something to do. But iPads weren't a thing, or at least we didn't have one yet
Right.
when you were that age. So like there was definitely technology played a role in being different in like your childhood versus mine, and your childhood versus the kids now.
Yeah.
Seems like kids are getting cell phones and iPads and all that way earlier
Yeah.
now. Whereas because we didn't have as much iPads and things like that, you guys did play outside a lot. That's why we wanted the swing set in the backyard, and
Right.
you guys played a lot outside when you were kids,
Yep.
which is good. So you're not in front of a TV all day or a computer or video games.
Yeah. Yeah. most of my friends play video games, and they're like, "How come you don't play?" I was like, "I never played video games when I was a kid.
You guys all
We all
played outside.
Yeah, we all played outside, and if it was nice out, we played outside, and you know, yeah. I mean,
we
had
had
computer games.
We
but
had
that was it.
video. Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
that was, like,
Eventually we had the Wii, I think might have been our first.
That was the only video game stuff
system.
that was the only truly game system that we really played. But like Xbox or PlayStation or anything like that, we never got.
Eventually, I don't remember who got that first.
It was
probably Zach. You weren't as much into video games as like Zach and JT.
Yeah, in a sense.
But we did eventually get, I think, Nintendo maybe? Or no, I guess it was an Xbox.
It was an Xbox like 360.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. Yep. That's probably what we got.
Yeah. Because I was like, what, in high school, I believe. That happened.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, no, I mean, like growing up and stuff like that, like, we never had that. We did have an Atari, but that was
leftover from our younger lives.
Yeah.
But once we got the Xbox, also the age difference came into play, whereas you and Zach maybe wanted to play. That was also when they first started coming out with the games that were more violent, where it involved guns and people shooting people and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we would play what was it, Grand Theft Auto or something like that.
Yes, but that in
was
and of
interesting.
itself was like a huge decision for a parent of, okay, when is the appropriate time to allow your child to play those types of video games?
Yeah.
Or watch R-rated movies, that kind of thing. But sometimes it depends on
well, that's if you're going to talk about like R ratings, like what's so fascinating is that like when you were growing up, R ratings and PG-13 didn't really intertwine with each other. It was like you had G, you had PG, and then you had R.
There were some maybe PG-13 movies, but
that I think actually came out in like the late 80s is PG-13, because like if you think about it, what was one movie that there was this one movie to where it was PG, but it was clearly not PG. I think it was like Smokey and the Bandit. It was like PG. And if you think about how many cuss words are in that.
Yeah.
Right? But still, it's like a, I don't know, a good old-fashioned classic movie.
Yeah, but then you have to compare like swear words to like sexual content versus really bad violence and gore.
Oh yeah,
blood and gore type stuff. Because like, I think, I don't know, are the Star Wars movies rated PG, PG-13, or R?
Let me look it up.
Those might be some that were PG-13. But like the Star Wars movies, even, I was like, I had to debate on when it was okay for you guys to even watch a Star Wars movie.
Okay.
Trying to think what other movies. I enjoyed watching Disney movies with you guys.
Oh, yeah. Star Wars. Okay, Star Wars The Phantom Menace was PG. But what about the other
What
Star
about
Wars?
like the first Star Wars? Star Wars A New Hope.
That's what I'm trying to find out right now. PG.
Okay. Most of them were probably PG.
Yeah.
So that was during the stage where I was transitioning you guys from only G-rated movies, like Disney movies.
Yeah.
To being able to watch something that might be a little scary or a little, at some point Luke Skywalker's arm got cut off. No,
Yeah.
Darth Vader's.
No. It was Luke Skywalker's.
Luke's did too. Yeah.
That was in the Empire Strikes Back.
But yeah.
One thing for sure, we never watched horror movies until Ralph came into the picture.
Thank goodness. Because why terrify little ones who can't process what's real and what's not real?
It was just Chucky.
And B, I don't like them. But at some point, as you become adults, you can experience things, even though they're things that I don't like. Like, I still won't watch horror films.
Yeah.
Or scary ones. Not that I haven't seen some.
Yeah.
Because I have.
I was going to say, like, maybe Friday the 13th or something like that. One of those classic ones.
I've never seen I've seen like the older ones that were around when I was a kid. Like maybe The Shining. I've seen that one.
Okay.
The Exorcist. I've seen that.
Still have yet to see that one.
The one not as old, The Sixth Sense.
That's not a scary movie.
No, but it's more of like a
Thriller.
suspense.
Or suspense, yeah.
But even that kind of thing, if it has to do with the supernatural or ghosts or something, I just, my subconscious doesn't let go of that. When I'm asleep,
So what you're saying is I need to have you watch The Conjuring.
no. Not at all. No. But, I'm glad you guys have been able to experience that through Ralph, not through me.
Well, I mean, Chucky was a killer doll, so there's that.
Yeah. Not for me.
I don't know. Killer doll would be kind of cool.
I know there's a lot of people that love scary movies, and I saw an article one time that talked about why some people love scary movies and some people hate them.
Okay.
And a lot of people, when they see a scary movie, it gets your adrenaline going, and it releases like a certain hormone.
Endorphins.
Yeah, endorphins that give you a good feeling. But for some people like me, when I get scared and that endorphin gets released, it makes me angry. It makes me mad. So I don't like to be scared. I go right to angry instead of like that exciting feeling. Like, I compare the exciting feeling that some people feel when they watch a scary movie to the way I feel after I get off a roller coaster or a really fun water ride. That's exciting. And it's like, it's like, yes.
It's
oh my gosh, this is great.
No, it's the same exact thing.
No, not for me. That's what I'm saying. For some people, and it even said it in the article, for some people watching a scary movie or something having to do with sorry, I hit the mic. Something having to do with fear can
Nice job.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. For some people, fear doesn't give you that exciting feeling. It actually gives you a bad feeling. Like, it gives me a bad feeling in my gut and it makes me angry. So I don't like people to prank me because it's not funny to me. To some people, it might be funny. To me, it doesn't give me that good feeling. It gives me a really bad feeling. And I want to, like, yeah, it just makes me angry.
Yeah. No, I mean, I got pranked not too long ago, and I got all upset and everything like that, and then, but what it was my coworkers were like, "Hey," like I walked up to one of them, they're like, "I'm not talking to you." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "You were just texting me a couple of minutes ago." I'm like, Why not?" She's like, "Well, I just heard that you've been talking crap about me and blah 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 blah." I'm like, "Okay, what did I say?" And she's like, "Oh, you're just saying that we're I'm fat and da da da." I'm like, and like I got all upset, and then she was like, "I'm just kidding," and I was like, "That's not funny." And then I was
See, to me,
it was pretty much, long story short, it was like she joked around with me, and then she's like, "I'm just kidding," and I was just like, she's like, "I saw you were getting pretty pissed
upset.
off.
Yeah.
You were getting pretty pissed off," and so I was like, and she's like, "All right," I backed off, and I was like, "Good one," but damn, I was
See,
like, I believed you. I believed you really big time. And then after a while, I just started laughing to myself. I'm like, all right, that was a really good one. I'm
yeah,
not gonna
but
lie.
to me, pranks like that upset someone or make somebody angry, to me, that's mean. That's
Yeah.
not nice to do to people.
I don't know.
See, some people think it's hilarious. There's a lot of people who
You get
think
a
pranks are hilarious, but
Yeah.
to me, it's like that's not nice. If somebody pulls a prank on me and it's a prank that either scares me or upsets me, to me, it's like once they're like, no, we're just kidding. It's like, but then you still are sitting with that feeling that
takes a
scared
minute.
or
Takes
upset.
takes a minute.
So to me, that's not funny.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it takes a minute. It definitely took me a minute because I had to be like, because I was like so amped up, and I was like,
Yeah. And that's why I get mad, because I would look at somebody and be like, why would you do that to me?
yeah. I know why somebody would want to do that to me,
Because they think it's funny.
I guess it would be a good reaction out of it. It's a good reaction, I would say.
Oh, you'd get a reaction out of me too. It just won't be a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, we digressed.
Yeah. So
We
But,
got off topic, I should say.
I guess, but
We were talking about movies and
yeah,
things when you guys were little.
yeah, I guess so. But do you want to take one more quick break?
Yeah, I mean, is there anything else any specific questions or anything
might
about
have a few.
mothers?
I might have a few.
All right, we can come back for a short
Okay,
time.
we'll finish it out.
All right.
All right, so last question, so we can close it out. What advice do you have to any new moms that would, because you've been doing hold on, our headset was kind of funky. So like I was saying before, do you have any advice for any moms who are celebrating their first Mother's Day? Because you've been doing this for 25, so might as well have some experience on whatever, on raising boys, children, whatever.
Don't take any time for granted, because so many people told me this. You blink and they're grown up.
And is that true?
It is, because here we are. It seems like yesterday you were being born and now you're 25.
Mm.
I would just say to enjoy every moment and not to wish away the current stage that you're in. Don't spend a lot of time going, I can't wait till they walk. I can't wait till they first start school. I can't wait until they start playing t-ball. I can't wait. Like, just don't wish away that stage, because it's gone before you know it. And then you look back and go, gosh, I wish they were little again. Oh, I missed when they were that age. Oh, I missed when we used to go and watch T-ball games or this and that. I would say just be present, love them, do the best you can, know that you are going to make mistakes, but you'll learn from them. You'll be a better mom because of it. And just enjoy every moment and every stage. Be in the moment. Don't always be looking for the next thing, because it'll be over before you know it.
Great. That's a good answer. That was a good descriptive answer, I would say. Well, in that case, happy Mother's Day. Well, since it's being recorded on a Saturday, but happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
And happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there that are listening. But yeah, you excited for tomorrow then, for your Mother's Day little lunch thingy?
Yeah. I'll just have to decide where we're going to go. But yes, I always enjoy having all three of my boys together, all of us as a family. And yeah, that's my favorite thing.
Yeah, that's probably the best part of Mother's Day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No matter where we go to lunch, I'm just going to be happy having you all together.
All right, cool. Maybe we'll have to plan like a little Mother's Day special thing sometime. I don't know, one day, like a big Mother's Day thing.
For sure.
No, I'm just kidding. That we can afford that.
Not yet. Not yet. Because your other two brothers aren't working full time yet.
Who knows?
They'll get there. No.
An extravagant like evening of, prime rib and, something. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me what we eat. Just as long as we're all together.
Yeah, well, still you got to decide on where to go though.
Yep.
So, but all right. Well, I love you. Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome. Love you.
All right.